Have you ever met someone for the very first time, yet felt an ancient familiarity, as if your soul suddenly recognized theirs? A stranger whose eyes carried the warmth of forgotten lifetimes, whose presence stirred emotions you couldn't explain. Sometimes, such moments are not coincidences, they are echoes of unfinished love stories returning through the passage of time. When two souls share a bond so strong that it transcends one lifetime, the universe weaves them together again and again until their hearts find balance. These are not just romantic tales, they are the deeper journeys of souls completing lessons of love, forgiveness, and growth. According to the timeless wisdom of Paramhansa Yogananda, no deep relationship ever truly ends. When love remains unresolved, when it ends with pain, longing, or separation, the energy of that love continues to vibrate across the astral planes. That vibration becomes a thread, pulling the same souls together in future births, giving them another chance to heal, to understand, and to rise higher in consciousness. What we call destiny is often just divine remembrance, the soul's way of finishing what it once began. So, when you feel an instant connection with someone, when your heart responds faster than your mind can reason, pause for a moment. It may not be a new beginning, it could be the continuation of an ancient story. These recurring bonds are not meant to bind us, but to free us from attachment, to teach us unconditional love. In today's journey, dear seeker, let us uncover this sacred mystery, why certain loves return, lifetime after lifetime, until the soul learns to love without possession, without fear, and without end. Because love, in its purest form, never dies, it simply evolves. What is unfinished love? It is not simply a romance that ended too soon, or a relationship that could not last. Unfinished love is a vibration, an unfulfilled promise between souls that continues to echo through time. According to Paramhansa Yogananda, true love is not born in the body, it is born in the soul. To souls who have shared deep emotions, devotion, or karmic lessons become energetically connected. And when those emotions remain unresolved, through pain, separation, or longing, that energy does not disappear when the body dies. It waits patiently, like a note left unfinished in the symphony of existence. In the language of spirit, love is not possession, it is magnetism. Souls that have loved each other before are magnetically drawn again by the invisible current of their past feelings. When that love was pure and harmonious, the meeting brings peace and joy. But when it was filled with pain, ego, or attachment, the universe arranges another meeting, not as punishment, but as an opportunity to heal what was once broken. The relationship may not always return in the same form. A lover may come back as a friend, a parent, or even a child. But the purpose remains the same, to transform attachment into understanding, and emotional need into divine love. Unfinished love is the soul's way of saying, we still have something to learn together. It reminds us that love is not about ownership or permanence, but about awakening. Every connection that deeply touches your heart is a continuation of your soul's long journey toward wholeness. And until every emotion is purified by wisdom, and every attachment is transformed into compassion, the story of love continues, from one lifetime to the next. The law of magnetic return is one of the most mysterious and beautiful truths of the soul's journey. Paramhansa Yogananda explained that nothing in this universe happens by chance. Every emotion, every action, every thought sends out a vibration, and that vibration must eventually return to its source. Love, pain, kindness, anger, all are forms of energy, and energy always seeks balance. When two souls share a strong emotional bond, they become magnetically linked through the law of karma. This magnetism does not fade with death, it transcends the boundaries of time, space, and physical form. If two souls part with unresolved feelings, longing, regret, betrayal, or unspoken love, the energy between them continues to vibrate in the subtle world. That vibration becomes a kind of invisible force, pulling them toward each other again in another birth. They may meet as lovers, as family, as friends, or even as adversaries, yet the pull remains the same, to resolve what was left incomplete. The universe does not forget love's unfinished lessons, it simply waits for the right moment, the right body, the right lifetime to bring the souls face to face once more. Yogananda often said that karma is not a punishment, but an education of the heart. When we love selfishly, we must return until we learn to love selflessly. When we hurt others, we must return until we understand their pain. The law of magnetic return ensures that every emotion is completed, every imbalance corrected. It is divine compassion disguised as repetition, the universe giving us endless chances to evolve. So, when someone re-enters your life with powerful emotion, whether in love or conflict, see beyond the surface. It is not coincidence, it is a cosmic reunion. The soul is simply trying to finish what time alone could not complete. How can we recognize a soul we've loved before? The signs are often subtle, yet unmistakable. They speak not to the mind, but to the heart. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that memory of the soul is stored not in the brain, but in the heart's vibration. When two souls who have shared lifetimes meet again, that vibration awakens instantly. You may not remember their name from another birth, but your spirit remembers their essence. You feel it as a quiet familiarity, a sense of peace, warmth, or even ache that words cannot explain. Sometimes it begins with a simple glance, eyes meeting, and in that moment, something ancient stirs. You might feel as if you've known this person forever, even though you've just met. This deep familiarity is one of the clearest signs of past life connection. Along with it often comes emotional intensity, joy that feels larger than life, or pain that seems too heavy for a new relationship. It's because the heart is responding not just to the present moment, but to the echo of many shared experiences. You may also notice strange synchronicities, dreams about them before meeting, repeating numbers, unexpected coincidences that bring you together again and again. Sometimes life itself seems to arrange encounters, no matter how far apart you drift. These are not random events, they are the universe's way of guiding unfinished karma toward completion. And finally, the strongest sign of all, such a person awakens something spiritual in you. They challenge your ego, test your patience, or open your heart in ways no one else has. Through them, you begin to see both your attachments and your capacity for unconditional love. Whether they stay or go, their purpose is sacred, to remind you that love is not about the other person, but about the divine truth reflected through them. Why do some loves, no matter how deep or beautiful, fail to stay? This is one of the hardest lessons a soul must learn. Many people believe that if a connection feels destined, it must last forever. But Paramhansa Yogananda reminded us that not all meetings are meant to become lifelong unions, some are meant to bring closure, not continuation. When two souls meet again after past lifetimes, it may not be for romance or companionship. It may simply be to heal old wounds, to forgive, and to release what was once heavy. Sometimes a soul that once caused pain returns in this life to help you grow, to awaken compassion instead of anger. At other times, a relationship that feels like love may suddenly collapse, leaving deep sorrow, yet that very ending completes a cycle that began long ago. In such moments, it is easy to ask, why did this happen? Why did they leave? But the deeper truth is that their departure might be the soul's liberation, both for you and for them. The connection fulfilled its purpose, to balance karma, to teach understanding, or to awaken detachment. Yogananda said, love that depends on any outer condition is human love. Love that is unconditional, even when unreturned, is divine love. When we cling to someone out of fear or need, the soul feels bound, but when we release them with love and gratitude, the soul expands. Some loves end not because they failed, but because they succeeded, they taught you what they came to teach. So, if someone you love deeply is no longer by your side, do not see it as loss. See it as completion. Their role in your journey may be over, but the love itself remains, purified, quieter, closer to divine truth. Every ending, in truth, is just another step toward eternal love, where nothing and no one is ever truly lost. As the soul matures through many lifetimes, its understanding of love begins to change. What once was possessive becomes peaceful. What once was desire becomes devotion. According to Paramhansa Yogananda, every experience of love, whether joyful or painful, is guiding the soul toward a higher, purer form of affection, one that is rooted in spirit rather than in attachment. This is the divine journey of balance. When the lessons of love are finally learned, when forgiveness replaces blame and selflessness replaces need, the karmic bond between two souls becomes complete. In that state, they no longer attract each other out of longing or karma, but out of harmony. Their connection becomes a blessing rather than a burden. These souls may meet again, perhaps in another life or on a higher spiritual plane, not to resolve pain but to share light. Their love is no longer bound by time or form, it becomes a quiet recognition, a sacred friendship in the vastness of eternity. Such love is rare, for it comes only when both souls have transcended personal desire and reached inner balance. Yogananda said that when love becomes divine, it no longer says, "I need you," but rather, "I bless you." In this state, the soul realizes that every person it has ever loved was simply a reflection of the same infinite spirit. The longing that once searched for one special person now turns toward the divine beloved, God, the ultimate source of all love. And when that happens, the circle of reincarnation slowly comes to rest. The soul is no longer drawn back by unfinished emotions, because everything has been fulfilled in divine unity. That is the true reunion, when love itself becomes so pure that it leads the soul home, into everlasting peace and oneness with spirit. If you feel bound by an old love, one that lingers in your heart, even after years or lifetimes, know that healing is possible. You do not have to wait for another birth to complete your story. The soul can finish its lessons now, in this very life. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that love, when purified through forgiveness and selflessness, dissolves karma instantly. Every act of understanding, every silent blessing, every prayer of goodwill helps untie the invisible knots of the heart. Healing begins not by forgetting someone, but by transforming the energy you hold for them into light. The first step is forgiveness. Whether the person is still in your life or long gone, release the pain with compassion. Realize that they, too, were learning, just like you. Yogananda often said, "Send love and blessings even to those who hurt you, it liberates both souls." When you forgive, you reclaim your power, and you free the other person from the chains of resentment. The second step is prayer. Each time you think of them, instead of reliving the past, silently say, "May your soul be at peace. May love guide you wherever you are." This simple act shifts the vibration from attachment to divine blessing. The third step is meditation. Sit quietly, focus on your heart, and imagine it as a golden lotus radiating light in all directions. Let that love flow to every soul you've ever met. In that moment, your heart becomes an instrument of divine healing. And finally, practice selfless service. When you give love without expecting anything in return, even in small ways, you dissolve lifetimes of karmic debt. Dear seeker, every act of kindness, every prayer of love, is a thread of completion. You do not need to chase the past, you only need to elevate it. When your love becomes unconditional, the story that once caused pain turns into grace. The soul no longer seeks the same person again, for it has found the source of love within itself. And that, truly, is how unfinished love finally finds peace, not in reunion with another, but in union with the divine beloved. Dear seeker, every love that has ever touched your heart has played a sacred role in your soul's awakening. Some came to bring joy, others to bring lessons, and a few came simply to remind you of the divine truth, that love never truly ends. Even the ones who left, even the stories that felt incomplete, were part of your greater journey towards spiritual wholeness. When you begin to see love not as possession but as a pathway to God, the pain of loss turns into understanding, and every goodbye becomes a quiet blessing. Remember what Paramhansa Yogananda taught, that all human love is a reflection of divine love, and every heartache is a step closer to realizing that truth. The souls who walk with us through lifetimes are not accidents of fate, they are mirrors, showing us what still needs to be healed, forgiven, and released. When we bless them instead of clinging to them, we grow lighter, freer, and more radiant in spirit. So, dear one, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life, past or present, whom you now see with new eyes? Someone whose presence, or even absence, has shaped your soul's evolution? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply type Jai Gurudev to send a wave of divine love and peace into the world. And before you go, I would love to know, what topic would you like to explore next on this mystical journey? Perhaps soulmates versus twin flames, or how karma shapes family bonds, or maybe signs your soul is nearing liberation. Let me know in the comments, and together we'll continue walking the path of higher understanding. Until next time, stay peaceful, stay loving, and remember, true love never ends, it only transforms. Jai Gurudev.